The biggest thing here weighs about as much as your breakfast used to.
Hi, I'm Toxicoma. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here or returning, please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out a lot. And like the video. Like it or else.
You hatched from an egg in the Amazon rainforest,
am
which is a problem
from
because
Amazon.
you're a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and this is not
Oh,
where
let me
you're
turn it
supposed
down.
to be. Now, technically, there's this whole thing about oxygen levels being way lower today than in the
Interesting.
Cretaceous, like
That is very
21%
true.
now versus
And that's why all the creatures were a little bit bigger than what they are right now.
maybe 35% back then, which would basically mean you're constantly at high altitude and gasping for air like you climbed Everest, but we're ignoring that because watching a T-Rex slowly suffocate for 20 minutes makes a really boring video. So let's just
Maybe
say
I
you
was
got
wrong
magic
then. I don't know.
lungs
That's
and
what I've
move
been
on. You're a T-Rex
told.
living in our modern world. Here's what you need to understand. Your species evolved to hunt animals the size of trucks in wide open floodplains where you could actually see what you were doing. The Amazon has animals the size of large dogs and the visibility of a closet, but it's filled with vines. You need to eat several tons of meat per month to survive. The biggest thing here weighs about as much as your breakfast used to. So this is the story of what happens when you drop the most powerful land predator in history into a jungle that has no idea.
Why does it look like
where
that?
Everything is wrong, and where the question isn't whether you're dangerous, it's whether you can actually survive long enough to
can
matter.
survive
Spoiler
pretty
alert,
long,
it gets a bit
actually.
complicated. So you crack through your shell, and the first thing that hits you is the heat. And I mean it physically hits you because this isn't the warm subtropical climate your DNA was expecting. This is a permanent sauna that never turns off.
no.
Your instincts are screaming at you to recognize certain sounds and smells that should be here, except none of them are here. Because there are no hadrosaurs bellowing in the distance and no other T-Rex nearby. Instead, what you're hearing is howler monkeys screaming from trees like the world's ending and insects buzzing at a volume that is pretty aggressive. You stumble forward on legs that don't quite work yet, trying to figure out why everything smells wrong and why the air feels thick enough to chew on. And you immediately walk face first into a wall of vines and ferns so dense that you can't see 3 feet ahead. Back in Hell Creek, you would have hatched into open floodplains with decent visibility.
That's
and actual
crazy.
room to move. But the Amazon has decided that oxygen is for sharing and space is a myth. So you're basically stuck in nature's most humid closet. Now, if you're watching right now, you might be wondering, why is the T-Rex in the Amazon? Why
My
not
brain
in
isn't
America where
functioning.
we originally found the fossils? Well, that's because in modern day, we would not be able to support a T-Rex in North America. Where I grew up, Saskatchewan, the province in Canada where we have found multiple T-Rex fossils, yeah, it gets pretty damn cold there, like minus 45 degrees Celsius during the winter. T-Rex is not surviving that, and based on my research, the Amazon basin is probably the best case scenario where a T-Rex
would
could
say so,
theoretically live
yeah.
in today's environment. But all of that does not matter because the insects are about to find you. Within minutes, you've got mosquitoes biting.
All the creatures are gonna eat him, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Reach and some kind of ant crawling on your foot that stings hard enough to make you hop backward into more vines, which would be embarrassing if anyone was around to see, but thankfully you're completely alone in a jungle that has no idea what you are. You learn very quickly that standing still is not an option, because if you stop moving
I
for more than 30
wonder
seconds,
if they could
something
actually
will bite you,
survive,
which is
though,
a fun way to
it's just
start
a
your
really
life. The hunger kicks
different
in maybe
environment.
2 hours after hatching, and your instincts are telling you to hunt for small dinosaurs or large insects or basically anything with decent protein. Except when you look around, all you can see is frogs the size of your toe and birds that won't shut up but also won't come down from the trees. You spot something moving near the water, something brown about the size of a large rat.
What the
You decide that's
flip?
breakfast because you don't have a lot of options here. So you charge at it with all the grace of a drunken toddler and immediately trip over.
What is that thing? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It's called an agouti. Just stares at you for a
Agouti.
second before running
It's
off
a-
into the undergrowth, which is fair
it's a
because you're not
rodent.
exactly terrifying when you're 3
Most
feet long and
likely.
cannot run in a straight line. But you're persistent and also starving, so you keep trying, and eventually you manage to corner something near the water's
Man,
edge.
humans have
grab
it
at
so
your
easy. They
jaws
can just walk to the
frog.
store and
It's a
get
regular
food,
frog, and you
but
eat
then
it in
animals
one
actually
bite,
have to
and
hunt
it
for their
tastes like
food.
disappointment. This is about to be a theme that
Dang.
you're going to get used to very quick. Over the next few days, you figure out that hunting here requires a completely different skill set than what your genetics prepared you for. because
Okay, one,
everything is
that
either
was a
just
really chubby T-Rex. Two, if a T-Rex is looking directly at you, it's looking directly at you because its eyes are on the front of their head, like we have them instead of the side of their head. Pretty cool, huh? Did you also know that chickens are the closest relatives we have to dinosaurs? You know, a lot of people think that it's alligators and crocodiles, but those are actually distant relatives of dinosaurs and stuff. I forgot their actual scientific name, but yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Small to bother with or too fast to catch or living in trees where you physically cannot reach. And the
Oh my
things you can
god.
catch barely provide
Oh my
enough
god, I would
calories to
die.
justify the energy
I
you
would have a
spend
heart
catching
attack
them.
and die.
You
I have
managed to kill a
megalphobia.
juvenile
This is
rodent at
not
one point,
happening.
and you feel very proud of yourself until you realize you're still hungry 10 minutes after eating it, which raises some
Fast
questions about whether
metabolism.
this ecosystem can actually support you long term. But you're 2 weeks old, so you're not really thinking about ecosystems or any complex equations like that. You are
Interesting.
literally a baby T-Rex. You're just thinking about right now.
I'm
and
just
right
a
now in this video.
baby.
Heat is relentless in a way that you were not designed for, because back in the Cretaceous, your habitat had seasons and cool periods and actual temperature variation. But the Amazon runs at a constant 85 to 95 degrees with humidity that makes the air feel solid. And you're overheating constantly because your body is
Holy moly, that's the temperature outside for me right now.
Just to cool off.
That's really hot. I could never.
Animals come to drink, and you quickly figure out that sunset is when prey gets careless and you can actually ambush things. Your first successful hunt happens at dusk near a riverbed when a capybara, which is basically a giant hamster that weighs about as much as you do right now, waddles down to the water and doesn't notice you standing very still.
He called it a giant hamster.
Lunge, you grab it, it makes a horrible squeaking sound and dies. And for the first time since hatching, you actually feel full. This is a good meal. This will hold you full for maybe a day. The math on that is starting to look bad. You're growing fast though. You're putting on weight and height every week, and by the time you're a few months old, you're already the size of a large dog, and things are starting to notice you as a potential threat instead of just the weird lizard. You have a standoff with a juvenile ocelot one morning near your sleeping spot.
What's an ocelot?
Both of you are frozen and trying to figure out what the other one is. And after about 30 seconds of intense staring, the cat decides
all the animals are like, what the hell is this thing?
Smart cat. But the territory you're learning is wrong in every way that matters, because the forest is so tight and overgrown that moving through it announces your presence to everything within 100
I like how they have small ass arms. What are the arms even for? What are T-Rex arms even for? What do they use them for? Nothing? Because it looks like they can't use them for anything. What the flip? I'm sorry, but those big ass creatures, and then they have small ass hands. It's so funny to look at. It's so silly. They look like water monitors.
Impossible when you're bulldozing your own path around the jungle.
I mean, that makes sense though, because they're all
because they're the only places with actual space to move. And you notice that river corridors have more prey traffic anyway, since everything needs to drink. So you're accidentally learning the most efficient hunting strategy available. The disease situation is getting weird too, because you've got things living on you and probably in you that your immune system has zero manual for. You got ticks burrowing into soft spots between scales in some kind of intestinal situation that you can't see but can definitely feel. And every time you drink from the river, you're probably picking up new parasites, but what are you supposed to do? Not drink? You're already spending half the time dealing with infections.
And because it's hot outside.
Humidity. Little cuts that just sit there and fester.
Oh no.
The Amazon has decided that healing is optional. By the time that you were 6 months old, you're pushing 200 pounds and starting to understand something that your DNA never prepared you for.
Gosh damn, fat ass. Jeez.
Simultaneously the most dangerous thing around and also completely out of your depth. You're winning every fight against prey that barely feeds you, and you're losing a slow war against an environment that treats you like an invader.
Holy moly.
But you are
that is true.
That's going to change the entire
invasive species.
In a few months, you're going to weigh tons, and when you do, every single predator in this jungle is going to have the same realization at the same time, which is that they are not the apex predator anymore. and they never will be again. The food situation isn't going to get better.
I was just about to say he's gonna eat elephants, but
there. It's 2 years in, and you're now.
I kind of want one as a pet. They kind of look nice, but I'm good.
Started to notice the rules
I'm
have
good.
changed because you are officially the largest land animal
Yeah,
in South America by a margin that's
a lot of people
honestly
think that
embarrassing for everything
T-Rexes
else.
have
There is
like
no evolutionary
fur
context for you
or
here.
feathers.
No genetic memory in any predator's brain that says when you see this, run.
Which makes
so
sense,
the first few encounters get
'cause
weird
a lot of
because
dinosaurs
animals keep
have
trying to
feathers
apply
and
their
stuff.
normal threat assessment to you, and it just doesn't work. Case in point, you're walking along a river at dawn when you smell blood and fresh meat. And when you follow your nose, you find a male jaguar standing over a dead tapir, looking very pleased with himself. He's maybe 220 pounds of spotted muscle and bone-crushing bite force, the apex predator of this entire region. And he sees you coming and does this thing where he tenses up and shows his teeth because that's what's always worked before when something wants his food.
Is it working for me? Wait, is it working for me? Am I scary? You want to show you my teeth? Okay, sorry, moving on.
Walk up, you grab the tape in your jaws, you lift all 500 pounds of it off the ground, and you carry it about 20 feet away before you start eating. The jaguar just stands there. He is supposed to be the biggest problem in this jungle, and you just mugged him in broad daylight. You took his breakfast.
That's crazy.
And there is
Bro got
genuinely nothing you
mugged.
can do about it because you outweigh him by a factor of 60, and you could step on him by accident, and that would be that. After a minute, he turns around and walks into the forest, and you eat his tapir in maybe 6 bites, which feels efficient until you realize this is the biggest prey item available in this entire ecosystem, and it barely fills you up for 3 days. The math on this is getting worse, not better, because in the Cretaceous, one Triceratops leg had more meat than this entire animal, and you could feast for a week off a single kill. But here you're looking at needing to do this twice a week minimum just to maintain your weight. The Amazon only had so many tapirs, and they're getting harder to find because word is spreading in the prey community that something new and horrible is patrolling the rivers. You've started hunting at night,
and then the
because
T-Rex
that's
is
when
gonna
tapirs
eat all the
move, and also
animals.
because the daytime heat is trying to kill you. And you spend most of your afternoons standing chest deep in river water just trying not to overheat because your body was designed for a climate with cool seasons, and the Amazon doesn't believe in seasons. Just one season of hot. Rivers have become your whole
One
world at this
season
point.
of
Your
hot.
highways and your hunting grounds and your
Just
only
like
reverse
Florida.
heat. And you've learned that if you wait near certain bends in the late evening, the prey comes to you because everything needs to drink. Capybaras show up.
Oh,
in
that's
groups,
kinda
and you can
smart.
sometimes grab 2 or 3 before the rest scatter. Deer come down at dusk and they're easy pickings. Peccaries travel in herds, but they're getting wise to you, and now they send scouts ahead to check if the coast is clear. Which brings us to the Cayman
That's
incident.
kinda smart.
You're wading through a deeper section of river one afternoon, maybe chest deep in murky water, and something hits your leg hard and fast, and suddenly there's teeth sunk into your right thigh, and the pain is immediate and sharp. You look
What
down
is
and
it?
there's a 16-foot black caiman attached to you, maybe 1,000 pounds of reptile and pure muscle. And it's doing that thing crocodilians do where they bite down and try to roll to tear flesh, except
Oh,
you weigh
no
6
way.
tons, and you're not going anywhere. This is a decision on the
Is he
caiman's
gonna
part,
break his
and the
neck?
caiman has been the apex predator of these rivers for its entire life, taking jaguars when they come to drink, crushing capybaras without effort, and now it has bitten something that's treating
Capybara.
the attack as an
Yeah, you're
inconvenience
cooked.
rather than a death sentence. You reach down with your jaws, you grab the caiman somewhere around its midsection, and you bite down with enough force.
I don't think that's a caiman. Like, I think that's just an alligator picture. Oh, you can't see my things in the way. Scully's fat ass is in the way.
And punctured something important. The
Hold
caiman
on.
dies. You drag it to shore and you eat it because you are
There
not
we
picky about
go.
what kind of meat you're getting as long as you're getting meat. And honestly, the caiman tastes fine and provides a decent amount of calories. Your leg has puncture wounds that are going to get infected in this humidity because everything gets infected here. But you'll heal because you're built tough and your species has survived worse.
Let's
The caiman probably
go.
thought it was making a reasonable choice based on available information. And technically it followed all the rules that had kept it alive for 40 years. And those rules got it killed in under a minute because they were written for a different world. The ecosystem did not
thing.
approve. You are fully nocturnal now, sleeping through the midday heat under whatever shade you can find and hunting from dusk until dawn. And you've claimed maybe 50 miles of river as your territory because you need that much space to find enough food. Other predators have learned your schedule and they avoid you. Jaguars are shifting their ranges away from your core area. Caimans are staying in deeper water when they hear you coming. And you've left your scent everywhere through a combination of marking and the fact that you smell terrible to everything with a working nose. There's this moment sometimes at night where you stop and scan the area,
shower
and some part of
today?
your brain will register that you should be hearing other T-Rexes. Maybe smelling their
Yeah, that's
scent
very
markers,
suspicious.
maybe
That's very suspicious. Only one T-Rex. I wonder how far that thing will go. Humans are very smart. Not okay. Well, not really, but like in a sense where we have a lot of like weapons and stuff that we can use against T-Rexes. I think that will be a really I don't know. They weigh like tons, he said, and the skin is like, I don't know how good their skin is.
Never will be anything.
But we could probably kill it
in a way that goes deeper than just being physically alone. You don't think about it in those terms because you are a dinosaur. An abstract thought isn't your strong suit, but the instinct notices the absence. You are all alone in this lost world. But the health situation is becoming a thing, and not a good one. Ticks are burrowing in everywhere they can reach. Some kind of fungal patch is growing on your side that won't go away no matter how much you scratch it against trees. And your foot pads are getting soft from being wet constantly, which means every
he's gonna get gangrene.
You step on goes deeper than it should. You're surviving and you're dominant and you're winning every fight, but you're also losing a slow war of attrition against an environment that treats you as a foreign object that needs to be broken down and recycled back into the jungle. And here's where we need to talk about what dominance actually means when you're the only one of your kind. Because you've reached the point where nothing can challenge you and the food chain has completely rearranged itself around your presence. But that doesn't answer the question of whether this is sustainable or if you're just slowly starving while being king of the jungle. The ecosystem has adjusted.
Chipmunk cheeks, what the heck?
You're about to find out if being the apex predator is enough when the world you're dominating was never built to support you in the first place. It's year 3 and the power dynamic has been settled for a while now. You are, without question, the apex predator here. And
I think he needs to get his lymph nodes checked right here. What is happening?
Part is that this status was never actually contested because there's nothing in this jungle capable of challenging you even if it wanted to. A full-grown jaguar weighs 220 pounds on a good day, and you could accidentally step on one while turning around. Caimans have sharp teeth and strong jaws, but you've already killed and eaten 3 of them. And the anacondas take one look at your leg and decide they have better things to do. You've achieved complete dominance, which sounds impressive until you realize dominance just means you get first pick of food that barely exists in the quantities you need. The prey has learned, though. They've adapted their behavior in ways that make your job much harder. Because
isn't that really cool how
now only come out in the dead of night.
Isn't it crazy how when there's like a new predator, prey adapts to it so they can survive longer? Isn't that crazy? I love animals.
Night, and they stick to the thickest cover that they can find. But
Into
caribous
the
have started
thick
traveling in
God.
even bigger herds because their math says there's safety in numbers, which is wrong because you can grab multiple pigs in one attack. But you can't fault them for trying. Capybaras have gotten paranoid to the point where they post sentries that whistle the second they see movement, giving everyone else time to hit the water before you get close. You've created what scientists would call a landscape of fear, which is just a fancy way of saying everything has terrified you and has reorganized its entire life around not being where you are. But here's the thing about being terrifying. It makes hunting harder when your prey spends all day hiding from you. So you've shifted more towards scavenging because it turns out your nose can pick up dead things from miles away and dead things don't run. You find a drowned deer caught in river debris and that's breakfast. You stumble onto a peccary that died of something and you eat it anyway because you're not in a position to be picky. You smell blood and find a jaguar kill, and you just take it while the jaguar watches from a tree branch, looking like his whole worldview just collapsed.
Yeah, I'd be like, damn it.
Than hunting calorie rise, which raises questions about what you're supposed to be.
I don't know. I'd be pretty pissed off if a big bat came into McDonald's and took my food. I mean, I wouldn't do anything. I would just look and be like, damn.
Doing here, but hey, efficiency's efficiency. Free calories is free calories. Nobody's gonna turn down some scraps. The food math is getting harder to ignore at this point because you need roughly 500 pounds of meat per month just to maintain your current weight.
That's
Tapirs
crazy.
are the biggest thing available, and you're lucky if you find 3 per month, which means the rest of your calories have to come from.
Hold on, what's a tapir? Ooh. What the fuck? Why does it look like that? What? Oh my gosh. It kind of looks like a anteater that was trying to look like a... No, it looks like an anteater. Ugh.
Kills. You're hunting constantly, patrolling constantly, and the energy you're spending to find food is starting to approach the energy you're getting from the food, which is the kind of equation that ends badly if you keep going. Back in Hell Creek, you could kill one triceratops and rest for a week while you digested a few thousand pounds of meat. But here you kill something and you're hungry again in 2 days. Your body is keeping the score too, and the score is not great. Because you've got chronic skin infections from cuts that won't heal in this humidity, ticks embedded in places that you can't reach, and some kind of foot rot situation from standing in the water all day. And again, that fungal patch on your side has spread despite your best efforts to scrape it off on trees. You're still massive and still dangerous, but you're wearing down in ways that matter. Getting thinner than you should be, and moving a little slower than you used to. The wet season hits, and suddenly the rivers rise 30 feet, and your whole territory turns into a giant flooded forest. And prey concentrates on the few patches of high ground that aren't underwater, which should make hunting easier, except you're also wading through chest-deep water constantly. You have 3 more separate encounters with caimans during this period, and you kill 2 of them, and the 3rd one gets smart and leaves. But each encounter means more bite wounds and more chances for infection, and you are starting to get scars. So let's now talk about what could actually kill you. Because obviously it's not the other animals. We've established that. It's the environment itself and the slow accumulation of problems that you can't solve by just biting them. A serious infection could do it. Sepsis spreading from one of your many wounds until your organ starts shutting down. A bad fall could also do it, breaking a leg or a hip in a way that leaves you unable to hunt, which turns into starvation in the course of weeks. Getting stuck in deep mud could do it. Your weight would be working against you as you exhaust yourself trying to get free. You survived 65 million years in a mass extinction just to potentially die of what is essentially trench foot. The territory that you've claimed along the river has changed in your presence. Prey populations are now dropping as you kill them faster than they can reproduce. Predator populations are dispersing as jaguars and caimans move.
And this is why invasive species sucks a lot, because sometimes it's very easy for them to kill and kill and kill without having time for the prey to reproduce. That also happens in plants. It's not just animals. There's a lot of plants and invasive plants that do the same thing. I think it's more common in plants actually than in animals, but you know. But yeah, I just thought that was cool.
To areas where they don't have to compete with you, and scavenger populations are going up because you leave scraps that smaller animals can take over. You've created a dead zone of about 60 miles where everything is quieter and more cautious and fundamentally
I'm sorry, but if I
the fact that you now
I'll
exist.
die. I'll just die on the spot.
Will reset the moment you die because you're the only one and there will never be another one. No offspring to carry forward, no population to establish. Just you and however long you can keep this going. Here is the verdict. Can a T-Rex survive in the Amazon? Yes, you can. And you are. You've been doing it for 3 years, and you could probably keep doing it.
Can it survive for a long time, though? Probably not.
Happens. Can you thrive? No, absolutely not. The food situation is barely sustainable, and your health is declining, and you're winning every fight that matters while losing a war against the heat and disease and hunger. Can you dominate?
That's
Yes,
crazy.
you've done that. You are the apex predator, and nothing else is even close. But the problem was never whether you were strong enough or dangerous enough. The problem is whether there's enough food in this jungle to keep 6+ tons of predator fed, and whether your body can handle permanent heat.
Dang, I don't think
humidity.
so.
The answer to both is barely and not really.
barely
You
and
are the
not
most
really.
dangerous thing in this forest, and the forest is still killing you. Just slowly.
That's kinda
using
funny,
weather and parasites, and the simple fact that you need more calories than this place was ever designed to provide.
So actually,
You're
if that makes sense, then ticks are the apex predator. Ticks are killing him.
You'll always be alone. The
Someone's
question
gonna think
isn't
that I'm
whether you can
serious with
survive.
that.
It's how long you can keep doing this before something small finally adds up to something fatal. It turns out being able to kill everything doesn't mean everything can't kill you back. It
Yeah.
just means they have to be patient and stack the odds against time instead of using teeth. Enjoy
They're gonna
watching this
have a
video. Make
lot
sure
of
you like,
food.
comment down below what
They're
other
gonna
dinosaurs
have a lot of food once he dies. Man, that's a lot of food. That'll last quite a while.
you'd like to see in different situations, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more
Subscribe.
content just like this. And if you want
Subscribe, dude. Yes, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought the Amazon was human, but I didn't know that it was that human. But, I mean, going outside, I live in Florida, so going outside when it's really hot outside and kind of human. I mean, it's human, but I feel like the Amazon is way worse, especially if it's like that 24/7. Heck no. Those animals living there, whoa, especially the jaguars and stuff with the fur. Oh my goodness. Well, to be fair, fur is really good for keeping out heat and keeping in heat, depending on where you live and stuff. That's pretty cool, don't you think? Yeah, okay. Goodbye.